Hey guys, thanks for watching. I made this video because I needed a little redemption. I've been having bad luck since the morning. I tried finishing the 5-lug swap on the notchback by connecting the rear brakes, but the brake line that I ordered from eBay that was supposed to be for a V8 car ended up being another 4-cylinder line. So that's gonna set me back like another week in that project. I needed something else to do in the meantime, and since I was frustrated, I thought, why not bring something back from the dead? Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what I'm working on for now. This is a 4-liter Jeep engine block, and I purchased this a while back to replace the cracked engine block that made me lose interest in fixing my Wrangler. I got this, and hopefully this one will be good. I disassembled it just to make sure that it wasn't cracked in the same place, and I hit it with the hone just to make sure it didn't have those same hairline cracks, and all the cylinders look pretty good to me. I don't think this one is cracked, at least not in the same place. I also wanted to make sure that the deck was straight, or that it wasn't warped from being overheated. I started first measuring with a straight edge and a 3000 filler gauge, and it seemed like in some places it wanted to go through, and then I thought, hey, maybe it's because I haven't really cleaned up the deck well and it still had remnants of the old head gasket. What I did is, let me show you. I went and borrowed our scale from inside the house. I hope my wife doesn't get mad at me. This is tempered glass, so it's usually pretty flat. I don't know anymore since I've been standing on this for years. I'm hoping it's still flat. I just taped a piece of 120 grit sandpaper, and after that I just laid it flat on the deck of the block, right? And what you want to do is you go from one end of the block all the way to the other, all right, in this motion like this. You want to do that for a few minutes, you know, and then you'll see that it's gonna clean up all the head gasket and whatever's left over on the top, you know, from the old head gasket. You see all those shiny spots there? That's where it's flat. And you're also gonna see some dark spots like those, and those are low spots, okay? And now that it's clean, I'm gonna go ahead and bring back the straight edge, lay it against the block again, and check with a smaller feeler gauge just to make sure that it's flat. The reason you want to do that is, according to the FelPro website, there's a 5,000 out of flat tolerance for their gaskets to work. So I'm gonna try to you know, divide that between the block and the head. There cannot be more than 5,000 variance there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use the smallest gauge that I have. This one here is 2000s, and this one's a little bit smaller than that. And I'm gonna try to fit this one in between the deck of the block and the straight edge, especially in the low spots. Okay, so I'm gonna do it in several places. The first place is gonna be straight across here at the end, and you're trying to get that to fit in between the low spot and, of course, if you only have a 2000s filler gauge, you can use that. There's no problem with that. Okay, I'm gonna check the other side. Of course, also the flat edge that I'm using is really long, so it's unnecessarily long. So far, so good. I haven't been able to. I'm gonna put it across like this and try to fit it in. Like, I can barely get it to go in there, so there's a little bit of a low spot there, not there, but it barely goes in. I'm sure if I use the neck size up, it will not go through. Okay, so there's less than 2/1000 of clearance there, so that's good. That's not going in there. Okay. I'm gonna check it the other way, like this. See if I can get it to fit anywhere there. And that's pretty good, guys. I'm gonna go across like this. And you want to check everywhere. So that's not going through. Alright, so it appears that it's pretty flat. Okay. Keep in mind I'm using the smallest gauge that I have. So if the head gasket, if the head itself, the head surface is this flat, I'm gonna be okay. Alright, so now that I know that the block is still fairly flat within spec and that none of the cylinder walls appear to be cracked, I want to go ahead and finish cleaning off all of the dust and all of the leftover gunk that is in the block so that I can start thinking about reassembling it. Okay, so what I'm doing now is applying degreaser to all of the inside walls and all of the crevices and holes inside the engine block. And I'm doing that because I want to get rid of all of the grit and leftover sand from the stones after I hone the block. So you want to come in there with some sort of brush and just agitate all of those areas, whatever you can get your hands on. Just agitate it and make sure you loosen up all that stuff. That way when you finally hose it out, it all comes out. You don't want to end up with any of that stuff left over inside your block when it's assembled, because that'll wreck everything. I hosed down the block already and it looks like the majority of it is clean now. I don't think there's any more grit or foreign material left in it. What I'm going to do next is on each one of these bores, I'm going to come in with one of these nylon brushes and hopefully loosen up whatever's in there, and then with some carb cleaner I'm just going to blow them out. To clean the oiling holes, I'm going in and pouring diesel fuel in each one of them, and then with the nylon brush I'm going in there and scraping the insides of them until I feel like they're completely clean. Once I feel like I got them completely clean, I'm going to come back and spray pressurized carb cleaner to blow the rest of the gunk out. Alright guys, as you saw, I was able to get a few things done today. I cleaned up the block. I made sure that it wasn't terribly warped or that it didn't have any obvious cracks like the last block did. After doing all this work today, I'm basically in the same position I was before my project got derailed last time. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm looking forward to putting this thing together now and get my Jeep running. The main reason I want to get this off the stand is so that I can bring my 351 and put it right there. Thanks for watching guys. Wish me luck.